Okay, well, firstly, I want to say I really enjoyed the TED Talk. It gave me some really good perspective on art in general, taking a look at what's in the background and, looking at the little nuances that, like he said, like show socioeconomic class or just social class in general in the painting, like as far as what the person's wearing, where they stand, as far as their position in the picture, and everything else. I think that was really cool, to kind of change where people are focusing when it comes to this art and looking deeper into the story that's behind all of the characters in the painting, not just the ones that you always read about and hear about in literature classes and stuff like that. So that was really cool. Secondly, I did want to say it gave me totally new perspective on the argument about the Confederate monuments, which I still will honestly say I have mixed feelings. I do think that does kind of glorify a very negative time in our country's history, and I definitely don't think that we should forget it because the thing about history is it like keeps us from repeating the past by learning it. But at the same time, monuments in the middle of a park or in front of a courthouse or in front of a government building, to me, that's kind of putting some of those people on a pedestal. And I think that maybe we can move those monuments inside of a museum or into one place that kind of represents the parts of our history that we do not want to repeat, so that it can't be confused with, statues of Martin Luther King and former presidents and people who have accomplished great things for this country with positive intention. At the same time, before watching the TED Talk, I really felt strongly that they should all just be torn down, they should be destroyed. I was totally in favor of the protests against them and people tearing them down. And I didn't think that they should represent our country and particularly our state. Being born in the North and raised in the South, I have different perspective on race relations than some people. And I think that we already in the South have a stigma of racism and prejudice already put on us, and having things like those monuments and having our buildings, named after people who led against people who ancestors like represented our nation, and like you went against them having the rights to be citizens like we are today, and to be able to be in this class or to be able to sit together or whatever the case may be, kind of gives the South even more of a bad reputation, in my opinion. It makes us look a little more like like the hillbilly people that people up north kind of think that we are. So I think that if we change the narrative behind these sculptures and paintings and buildings that have been named after these people, by changing the dialogue behind it. Like, no, these are not people that we celebrate, but these are people that we acknowledge what they did and who they were and what happened, and now we're moving forward. So I think it would be great if there was some type of museum or one place where we kept all of these monuments together, and you can go and learn about these people and what they did and who they were, and also about the people who made changes and made things different for the better. But I would say my approach to the situation before was very black or white. They're terrible, take them all down. We don't need to learn about that. We don't need to see that. And now from looking at this TED Talk, I do realize, okay, maybe it's not necessary to take them down, but maybe we can change how we look at them and kind of put a little positive educational spin on it. So I really enjoyed this TED Talk, and thank you.